Well, where Shedeur goes is one of the great mysteries, not to spoil my own segment that's coming up in a little bit here. It's one of the biggest questions, though, going into the draft. He's taken a bunch of visits. I believe he's in Pittsburgh with the Steelers today. Do you have a sense? Do you have a guess on where this all lands for Shedeur?
Man, I don't know. It's just crazy how you go from, everybody at the end of the season saying, you're going to be at the latest, you're going number 3. And then you're dropping and nothing has changed. You haven't played any football, so how does it change? That's what's crazy about all this stuff. And it's it's new, but he's been even killed with all this stuff. I think he just wants the opportunity, and of course, wants to go on the best fit for him. And I think however it works out is going to be a good fit. If it's the Browns at 2, or if it's where he's at right now in Pittsburgh, whatever it is, I think they all have good fits for him. I think it's a good opportunity for him to be successful very early. And so I don't think he's worried about it as much, but it's just crazy to me how, he hasn't played football in the last 4 months, and you go from being top 3 to now they're talking about you might not be top 3 and nothing has changed, So it's been interesting. You hear a lot of feedback from a lot of guys who've interviewed him and got to know him, and they have a lot of good things to say about him. A lot of people went into a lot of interviews, especially, around combine time, because you just see, all the Instagram posts and what they put out on YouTube, and you don't really know who he is. But then a lot of those guys got to sit down with him and were like, oh, shoot, this is a great kid. He's a great guy. He, can articulate himself well, understands the game, can relate to everybody. He's a great guy, respect for all those different things. So it's just kind of crazy how that happens.
How's Coach Prime handling? I don't know how much you talk to him directly, but how's he handling just watching his son go into this process here? And Deion famously said on Draftway, if a certain team took him, they'd have to give him so much money that they'd put him on layaway. I know he's got strong feelings where he'd like it to go. How's he handling this?
From outside looking in, the conversation we had, he's comfortable with it because he's prepared Shedeur for all of this stuff. From he literally early on before this even started, he said, man, they're gonna come out with all kind of stuff about you that's gonna try to get you to drop so you can drop down to certain teams. And it's been true. Like everything he said has been true. So he's prepared him for this moment. So he's not worried about it. And like I said, Shedeur isn't worried about it. All the the reports that come out and different things like that, stuff that they're not worried about at all, because literally, having a dad like him who's been through this stuff, he understood what was coming. So he was able to give him a heads up on all this stuff, and now it's happening. And it's crazy that this stuff's actually happening exactly how he said it.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.